Jivanas, make your sandals wider, fix the saddle, fix the texture, both on the bottom and the top. That's too long, didn't read. Watch the rest of the video, and you'll see kind of like a 14 minutes of raw thoughts.
Okay.
My name is Philip, and this is a review of the Jivanas sandal. Yeah, so I wanted to fall in love with these sandals super bad. I try to make everything I buy compostable, so like the Carhartts are 100% cotton. This tank top is 100% cotton, so I don't know, it's came from China. Totally besides the point. And so I kind of just want to review these sandals. I really like the idea behind them. The idea is very good. Having something made out of biodegradable features is something that I idealize, and that's why I initially bought these. But there's a problem with them. So both of these sandals were size 13s. So I have this one and this one. My parents bought me these, and they were reef, and they are starting to shed microplastics all over. And so I decided, well, instead of buying shit, I would buy these. And I really liked it because they had a leather sole, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I've worn them for a week and started to put a little bit of wear on them. Hopefully you can see that. And the straps were kind of the biggest problem. So when you look at these straps, this one actually comes out a little bit more and rests better on your foot. So, and I'll show you that right now.
When I wear these, you could see that when you lift your foot up, the sandal stays. And what I like to do is grip my sandal by like using my toes to kind of grip down. And I normally sprint like this. And so when you wear the Jivanas, you can do the same. They're a little bit more slippery, and obviously, if they weren't as slippery, it'd be easier to grip. So that's a problem. But kind of the main problem with these is because they're so slippery, and these toes, I don't know, the saddle of the sandal is completely dysfunctional, because when there's this huge gap, I'm actually going to show you that gap with the tape measure. So that's a 5-inch gap right there. That's actually unacceptable. So if you do that to these same sandals, right, it's a 2-inch gap, right? And they start coming up. Obviously, right, these are staying stiff, right? But that saddle right there is essentially, maybe there's something that I'm not getting from these sandals, that there's like a hidden kind of like feature. But when I opened up the packaging, it was like, here's a complimentary butter for the leather, but there was no butter. So I was like, okay, is what it is. Like, you could see, like, I at least have like a healthy foot tread, right? So weight there, and I had ended up having to not scuff them like this, but I was intentionally kind of kind of pushing down with my foot to do that in order to get traction. And now I have traction. But originally, on this brick walkway, it ended up slipping and falling like 7 times. I think sandals like this, they need help from like engineering, like earth runners, right? Like earth runners come over here and they do their whole like loop. I think a sandal like this could really benefit from being made a little bit wider, because I am a size 13 and I just want to show you that my feet fit over here. They're not hanging off, right? So like when I spread them out, you know, like they barely go over there, and like here I could really, just for reference, maybe I could get both images. Like this one's like really bad. So this is me going like full flex, right? So I'm fully snugged, right? They're hanging off. Okay. And I'm fully snugged. Right? Now I can hang off with my pinky toe, but usually that one just rests like that. So I really fell in love with the concept. The fact is, these sandals are a little cooked. I never got an email receipt, an invoice, so that was weird. Or at least searchable by looking at Jivanas in my email. So I don't know where that went. Yeah, I'm just a little disappointed, you know, just from being all natural. And here's my feedback. Like, if the owners can look at this and instead be like, hey, fuck this guy for saying our product is shit, be like, oh dude, like, thank you so much for being honest. Like, I know that quality testing and control is huge, and this is like where you guys hopefully look at it from, is if these were just like earth runners, where the saddle was a little deeper, right? Because I just think that the saddle just needs to be deeper. Like, the saddle needs to sit right here, man. Needs to be way deeper. I love this little leather thing. This feels great. This feels great. Now, if it just was a little bit more, you know, I hope all of your workers, the people in Nepal's that design these, have a pair, right? I hope that every single worker has a pair of these exact things. You guys should tell every single person, you guys got to use these. Got to use them. If you show up to work, we want to see you rep this. So I guess that's kind of where I'm sitting. You know, if they had a strap like earth runners, or the saddle was deeper, or even if you guys had pre-roughed the leather, like, something I've thought of is these, when they originally came to me, look like a great pair of sandals that are props, like props, like sandal props. They looked like they belonged in somebody's wardrobe that makes six figures plus a year, and they just want them just so they could be like, oh yeah, like, I really like these sandals. And you know, you're flexing them just to flex like material goods, and like the functionality is just, it's just not there. Like, and I've wondered, like, you know, like how do you essentially fix these? And the only thing I could think of is make either full straps, so you're fully strapped in, because you constantly like slip off of the sandal like this as well, right? Like this is a common feature of the sandal. It's just the sandal will go like that, your foot's like that, your hip twists, right? Your hip will twist because of that, and that hurts. Like I've really been, I don't know how long I've had these sandals for. Like I think literally just a week now, and it's like I don't think I could keep wearing them just because they have created such a problem, right? They're problematic, and I wish that they weren't. So that's the honest review of Jivanas 100 sandals. And key takeaways: not wide enough, not textured upon arrival. They look like props, and they act like props too. They're super slippery. Like the saddle's bad. You fix those things, I think that these sandals, I'd be happy to endorse. I'd be happy to tell every single person in the world about these. I work in sales. I'm a solar salesman. But the reality is you can't recommend a product and that you don't believe in. And the last thing I kind of want to record and kind of touch on is, when I had first started finding good sandals back in the day, and I had found Earth Runners. They had a leather top Earth Runners, and the reason why I chose Jivanas this time, or why I wanted to choose Jivanas this time instead of Earth Runners, was because Earth Runners, their straps are a mix of nylon and other plastics, and so is the base, right? It's a rubber, and I wanted to stay away from that, and that's why I chose Jivanas. But with the Earth Runners, the top was textured. It was a textured leather, and I would actually pressure wash the leather, and it came out great. Every time I needed to clean them, I just pressure wash them. I took them in salt water. I was going saltwater diving with Earth Runners on, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. So yeah, and actually the last thing that I wanted to cover, these shoes will make you kind of drag your feet, right? Because you'll try to keep them level, right? And earlier I said you can only lift your sandal up so far, right? I don't know. It's like you have to figure out how to, I don't know, it's just doesn't make sense.